I welcome you all to data communication course. I hope you have all seen and gone through the materials of past lecture and there is no problem with that. Now in this lecture we will go through the topics as soon as possible. Now let's start with the term network. What do we mean by network? Network is the interconnection of a set of devices capable of communication. For example, if I point this one, a device, and there is some link between 1 and 2 to communicate, this 1 and 2 with link will be termed as network. And in this definition, a device can be a host such as large computer, desktop, laptop, workstation, etc. Can also be a connecting device which connects more than one devices with each other. It is known to be as switch, routers, etc. For example, we use router when we use broadband internets, which is very familiar thing nowadays. Therefore, total combination of devices with router can be termed as a network. Now, network criteria. Network can be measured in terms of performance, reliability, and security. Performance of a network can be measured in many ways. Transit time, the amount of time it is required for a message to travel from one device to another. And the response time, time elapsed between an inquiry and a response. When we inquire or when we search for something, it needs to be it needs to release a response from the server. So therefore, the response time is very efficient in measuring performance. While in transition time, it is required for a message to travel as fast as possible. And another criteria for performance is number of users. How many users can we communicate at the same time? How many users can connect to the network and can have the service efficiently and without delay. And the type of transmission medium used. Based on the transmission medium, transit time, response time, and number of users might vary. And the hardware capability and software efficiency is very important because hardware capabilities and software efficiency are dependent on each other. If we say, for example, use a device which only supports 2G, but we want to use Google Meet there, it would not be possible, and vice versa. Reliability. The reliability is the measure of frequency of failure and the time needed to recover and network robustness. In other words, reliability is to send and receive messages without failure. A system or a network is more reliable if the failure rate is low. You have to remember these three criterias. These are very important for your quiz and your mid or theoretical exams in the future. In the security perspective, protecting data from unauthorized users is a priority. I want to send my lectures to you and only to you, and if other users from unauthorized users gets my lecture, it's actually a breach of insecurity, which is undesirable. Now let's proceed. Physical structure. What do you mean by that? Physical structure is the direct link between multiple network devices, connecting devices. From here, we see from the figure, this is a device and this is another device. They are directly connected via this link. This type of connection is called point to point. From a specific point, we connect to another specific point or stations. This direct connection is called point to point connection. If we connect a mainframe or a database and connect it with different stations or connecting devices, it is called multi-point connection because number of devices connected to a single host or single server is more than one. Now let's proceed further. Physical topology. The term physical topology refers to the way in which a network is laid out physically. Two or more devices connect to a link. Two or more links form a topology. Now the important part here is that in order to form a topology, we need to have more than two links in a network. Other than that, it would not form a topology. Topology are basically fundamentally of four types: mesh, star, bus, and ring. We will see the example very soon. Now let's go further. What is what is mesh topology? In mesh topology, every station is connected to every other station. If a network is connected in this way, it is called mesh topology. I'm not going through the advantages and disadvantages. You have to go through them, and if you have any problem, you must share it with me, and I will solve them for you. Now, in the star topology, we have a single point of communication with which every station or every connecting device is individually connected. If we want to, say for example, send a message from this device to this one, then we have to send the message to the hub first, and the hub will decide where to send the message. If a network is connected or constructed this way, It is called star topology. As usual, the advantages and disadvantages are your self study. If you have any problem, you have to share it with me and I will solve them for you. In the bus topology, it's kind of a example of a bus stations, bus stoppages actually. We have a link that goes from point 1 to point 2 and be in between them we connect the stations or stoppages like a bus route. Now every device is connected to the main line with a drop line. It's kind of a stoppage and it gathers it messages and sends message and receive messages from this drop line using this drop line. If we want to send a message from this station to a message to this station, what we need to do is to drop the message in this line and it would transmit via the line and this station would reject that message because it is not intended for this station and this message will eventually find and received by this station because it is intended for this station. And similarly, it can receive messages from this cable line main link, and this is how a bus topology is constructed. As usual, you have to go through the advantages and disadvantages, and if you have any problem, you should feel free to ask me in the Google Meet and I will solve them for you. And in ring topology, the final fundamental or basic topology, the devices are connected in a ring in a circular fashion. This station is connected with only two stations and this station is connected with only two stations and vice versa. Every station is connected to a maximum of two stations, one kind of to the left and one kind of to the right. And if we want to send from this machine to this machine a message, what we need to do is to send the message to the adjacent repeaters or stations and they will in terms relay the message to the receiver. If any network is constructed this way, it is called ring topology. I would like to ask you to give an example about ring topology when my class resumes in Google Meet. So be prepared. And as usual, the advantages and disadvantages you should study by yourself. If you have any problems, you should feel free to share it with me. And this is the hybrid topology because it contains two topologies. One is star topology right here, and the other is bus topology right there. Star topology, I've drawn a star just, and this is the bus topology. So hybrid topology is a combination of any number of basic topologies. So you have to e- explain it in your own words. Next class we will start with internet and go forward. That is all for now. Thank you for your patience. Hope to see you soon. Thank you.